so much for joining me today. This is Whitney with the Yoga Art Space Studio, and today we've got a short practice with my favorite sequence of legs up the wall. Because of this, you'll require a wall today with enough open space that your legs would be able to spread wide. So usually that's a good arm span, 5-6 feet or so of space that's clear. You don't have to be able to have it clear above, so if there's a couple of pictures, clear up high, that's okay today. It's nice and low up to the point where your legs can reach. This class is specifically designed for people with swollen feet, people who have been on their feet with their work all day long, people who are pregnant, things like that. You can do this class right before you go to sleep at night, and you'll notice the feet beginning to allow some of that lymph and some of that blood that's stuck in the feet to drain all the way out. So the way that we approach our legs going up the wall is that we have to first sit in this kind of side saddle, feet off to the side position, and we allow our glutes to touch all the way up to the wall. This makes it so there's less of a game of trying to get our glutes to scoot closer to the wall. So once you've got your glutes touching, drop your shoulder down to the ground and then lay onto your back, allowing the legs to simply swing all the way up. Now you'll know right away if you need more or less space right at the hips. If you're a little bit tight in the legs and this is making your hips and that low part of your pelvis lift off the ground, what I need you to do is scoot away from the wall a couple of inches until the hips can be all the way flat. If you're doing good, you're touching the glutes to the wall, you've got plenty of space for your legs to be straight, then it's perfectly fine for you to be in that position. So we're going to take a little bit of time with the legs simply being upright, just like this. Notice how there is minimal effort needed. The legs are getting a stretch, but mostly this is a nice relaxing pose. Right at the end of the day, we don't need to get our heart rate up. We don't need to activate a lot of those stress responses. Rather, we just need to be. From here, we're moving on to the next shape. Both legs start to slide open off to each side. A nice wide angle pose. And peeking up, make sure you've got each foot about equal distance in relation to the ground. We're not letting our one hip take over. We're trying to find a great amount of symmetry in the body. Feel the inner thighs opening. A nice stretch through the legs without having to work on sitting up like we would if we flipped the orientation and our spine was upright. So just breathe as you enjoy this passive stretch. As we're here for a few more breaths, sometimes it's nice to add the shoulders into the stretching. So I'll grab onto each elbow or even just each wrist, and then let the arms rise up overhead. The hands make their way to the back sides of the knees. This allows the knees to bend. Start to slide the bottoms of the feet together. Knees go outward, and you get to choose if the feet are nice and high upward or if they're sinking a lot lower, closer to the pelvis. So you choose how low that is. You also get to choose if it's better for the knees to simply be floating open to a natural degree, or if it feels nice to put a gentle pressure on the inner thighs. So personal preference, find what's working best in your body. Gently let the feet slide up so that the knees can come back together. And from here, leave this left foot up on the wall. Try to see if you can take the right ankle onto this left thigh. If it's not making its way up there, slide the left foot even higher up until it can. Our goal here is to help this right hip continue to open up even deeper. And so this might mean just keeping the right hand on the right knee, helping it open. It might mean that the foot that's on the wall slides up or even slides further down to help steepen the angle, making it deeper. You've got lots of variations. So find a good amount of opening for the right hip. And once again, let yourself breathe into this pose. Start to drop this right foot down, and we'll switch the sides out. It's possible you need to slide it up right away to even get the left ankle up at all. And then if you slid it up quite high, perhaps at this point you can slide it back down. Remember again, hips are not wanting to lift off the ground. It's just how deep you can take it. to really feel that left hip open. And as we gently let this leg come back to the wall, let's allow ourselves to take a moment with a spinal twist. So the left leg goes a bit higher so that the right knee can cross over the left. And from that cross, start to slide the feet down to the ground on the left side. Spreading the arms, we keep the right shoulder on the ground. Feel that wonderful rush of blood back into the legs. The blood has been pooling in our heart area, making it oxygen rich. So that fresh blood is willing and ready to rejuvenate all those tissues. Starting to release, take your hips back to the ground, and this time the left knee crosses over the right, and the legs start to fall to the ground on the right side. Start to uncross the knees and take the legs back up. We'll wrap up almost like a mini Shavasana, just a slight meditation to give the legs one last chance to have zero blood pressure practically in the feet. I'll take the legs directly up version, but if you like wide legs or cobbler legs instead, you're welcome to return back to that shape. We'll be here for just a little bit longer. Keep the breath flowing. From here, start to let your body take a nice fetal position off to one side. One more time, feel that wonderful rush of blood back into the legs. 2 more breaths just to be. And then pressing our way up toward a seated position. Let's join our hands together in front of the heart. As your day is winding down, let's wrap up this time we got to share together, this self-care time for the legs and the feet, with the sound of a silent Om. Taking an inhale together now. In your mind, exhale the sound Om. May we be filled with light and happiness and peace. Namaste.